Getting ready to leave. We've got a little bit of water. This is our second offshore trip. We are headed to Key West. Should be basically 24 to 28 hours. It's going to be a lot blustery most of the trip. It says we might have to motor a little bit in the middle of the day according to Predict Wind's weather routing. We'll see what happens. Previously on Spoondrifter, we spent 3 years in a boatyard bringing our 40-year-old hurricane-damaged sailboat back to life. Todd, I, and 4 of our 10 kids knew nothing about boats when we started, but with time, we have repowered, re-rigged, and turned this boat into a home that's ready for the next big adventure before we sail to Florida and leave the U.S. for bluer waters. Oh, Cayo Costa, the issue is you have to get right up next to this beach. Gotta get right up close to this beach to get out of here. And we've got like 1.8 on the under the keel. Really sketchy. It was quite challenging getting out of this Anchorage. It's a beautiful sunrise. Low tide combined with 18-knot gusts and wind over our nose made navigation challenging. We did run aground once but got off quickly. While the winds would be a good angle for our run to Key West, it made for a sporty ride getting into and exiting Gasparilla Sound.
Status report.
We have 12 knots of wind on our beam. We're going 6.5. We have all our sails up. We are headed to Key West, baby. 7.6.
Key West, baby. I don't know if you can see him or not. He's right in the sun now. Kind of a buddy boat. Mitch and Amy on Magic. Catamaran over there. Woo! They're passing us. They're going a little faster. Alright, got the jib furled a little bit. Here we are. We should probably unfurl the rest of our jib. Mizzen needs to be trimmed. Guess I better do my job. Get the mizzen trimmed in.
Get busy.
You want to do that and we'll let out the head sail.
Are we ready? Yes?
Yep. Status report. What does that mean? Sighting. You're supposed to say, you know, all shields holding, weapons online.
We're going 6.3, 6.4. We have 11 to 15 knots on the beam. We just had to reef our head sail because our weather helm was turning us. It kept trying to round up into the wind, so we brought our, not our head sail. We let our head sail out and we reefed our main.
So does it seem like it's feeling better?
It's better, yeah.
Alright.
I'm trying to get us back on course because we had to come off a little bit to do that.
So our friends over there, they're headed to Marco Island and we're headed to Key West.
And maybe we'll meet up in the Bahamas.
Yep, we probably will run into them again. All right.
So they're so much faster than we are that they could make this run and get from place to place with the weather and the amount of daylight in a better way than we could. That's why we're going down around Key West, because we'll have to do it overnight, but we won't have to take so many days. We got crab pots.
Yeah.
A4 company, A4 company.
There's one more right there.
Another one. Kind of hard to see in the sun. The crab pots are pretty plentiful down here. We're sailing, so hopefully they won't hang up on us, but if we cross one just right, with the float and the rope and the pot below it, it can drag along the bottom of the keel and then come up between the skeg and the keel and get hung up on our prop. In which case we'll be dragging somebody's crab pot along. So we don't want to do that.
Yeah, well, you're in my way, so I can't really steer around them with
You're not going to steer anyway. You're on autopilot.
Well, I can push the button. I have been.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, I need some breakfast. I'm hungry. None of us are vomiting except the cat. So.
Yeah, Todd can eat no matter what's going on.
Yeah.
Let's see, I think that's about good.
Yep.
All right, the winds are dying. All right, well, we just put Todd downstairs to rest, and I am on watch until 2 o'clock this afternoon. We do 4 on, 4 off, and we have the girls just share watches with us. So right now, everybody is downstairs sleeping. It was pretty rough coming out of Gasparilla Sound, but things are pretty nice right now. So hopefully we'll have a really good afternoon. Just sailing, no motoring. Keep our fingers crossed.
All right, baby, going off watch?
Yes.
What's your plans? Going dancing?
I'm going to bed. Todd woke us up at an ungodly time of day.
And that time was?
5:55.
Oh, yeah, almost 6 o'clock in the morning, an ungodly time of day for a sailor.
Well, the winds were pretty icky last night, so we were kind of awake a lot.
Yeah.
So.
All right, well, go get some rest.
Okay, watch for crab pots.
Watch for crab pots. So I'm not going to talk to you guys. I'm going to look for crab pots. I got crab pots anywhere? We have seen quite a few, actually. Because we are going in a diagonal line to Key West from across Florida, the crab pots we're crossing their paths. So typically when they lay those crab pots out, they lay them in a fairly straight line. And if you can figure out what that line is, you can go between the rows pretty easy or alongside of them. Liberty, how you doing? Look at me. How are you doing? Okay? Cozy? Liberty's cozy. Denali is cozy. The cat is taking over my spot, probably. Hi, Susitna. She had a rough morning. She threw up this morning. So, it's calmed down a lot. I think she's probably checking things out now. Anyway, we got about 4.5 to 5 knots of wind. Not much. It is right on the beam or just after the beam. And since we're moving forward 4 to 5 knots, it's not a lot. Just kind of poofing. So we do have the motor running a little bit just to give us like a knot of speed. We're running about 650 RPMs, pulling about 10 amps, not very much. At this rate we can motor for 61 hours on our battery bank, so it's just hardly anything really. So other than that, I guess it's my watch. I'm on for 4 hours. I'm supposed to watch for crab pots.
Okay, so I'm supposed to be sleeping, but it's pretty bright in here. which isn't the big deal. There's a lot of weird noises going on when you come lay down in a boat. Right underneath of us is the rudder and the autopilot, so you have that, and then you have the shaft and the prop right under us, so you have all that spinning noise. And we are motor sailing right now, so there's a little more of it, but we don't have the generator on because we're using like 12 amps and the solar is providing the rest. But yeah, it's super noisy. It's like, let me see if I can figure out if I can capture that sound. So when it's noisy at night, when we're anchored from the wind, it howls through our rigging and is really loud back here for some reason. So I use earplugs and they're awesome. And I was going to put them on, but I realized then I wouldn't be able to hear if Todd needed me. So I guess I won't.
All right, have the gauntlet crab pots.
We can use that thing and swim with the dolphin. Oh, 4. There's a bunch of them.
Watching for crab pots. It's easier to see them from the bow. So what do you want me to do right now?
Leave it for a second.
Okay?
You let the boom out a little.
How much? Tell me when.
That's probably good.
We are reefing for the night. We have like hardly any wind. We do have the motor on, but it's supposed to pick up. Woo! Whoa, do I need to pull that in?
Yeah, well, 1 second.
Okay, so it's midnight. Things are good. We're making good time. And Todd's on watch and I am supposed to be sleeping. I am slightly nauseous. Got sick earlier when I came down off my shift. So Liberty is massaging my feet to make me feel better. And the puppy is keeping me company.
Now you can't see me. But got a bit of a wild ride going on now. We have our reef main and full Geno and mizzen up. Boat's cruising along at about 5.8 knots. A little rougher coming to the forward of the beam, so we're a little more bouncy, but we're not too severely heeled over. So I got to keep an eye on it, but that's what's going on in my life right now. It is, what, 1:07 in the morning.
I should probably fix that. The boat is bobbing and that keeps happening, but then it fixes itself. I guess I look how I feel. Exhausted. My shift is over and Todd just got up and we shook out the reef in the main. This was a rough night, guys. Nothing was wrong. It was just a rough ride. I threw up. Liberty threw up. We don't know where the cat's been hiding, so she may have thrown up. She just came back up here. So when we get in and get to anchor and get some sleep, and then we're going to have to get up and put the boat back together. Abigail says she doesn't want to do this anymore. The sailing part. Overnight sailing. She slept up here in the cockpit all night because her stomach hurt. We are 5 hours from the Key West Channel, and I'm going to go down and get a little more sleep. Get some sleep.
Alright, good morning everybody. It is 8:30 in the morning. It's a pretty rough night. I mean, the boat looks like a wreck, like the bomb went off in there. Kids are asleep. Tammy's off watch. She needs to get her rest.
I'm going to bed. Worry about this when we're not bobbing up and down.
It's beautiful out here. If the wind can keep up for us so we can keep our speed up, we should be getting in there about 2 o'clock this afternoon. Could be as late as 5 or 6 depending on what our overall boat speed actually ends up doing. I mean, I'm pushing pretty tight to the wind right now. We're probably about 35, 40 degrees off the wind. And this boat, that's almost as high as we can pinch. I don't know if you can see all the dots on the windshield. That saltwater spray.
The entrance to Key West was crazy. Lots of boats, lots of wind. This kept us too busy to film, but we made it into the Fleming Key Anchorage, and after wandering around for a bit, found a spot to drop our anchor. Thanks for following our journey. Join us next week as we explore Key West and get the last few things we need before heading to the Bahamas.